Hey guys, welcome back to Kids Coding Playground. So today we'll continue our center platformer game here. These are the code last time. I'm trying to go real quick with this. So I already explained in the second video with this part, how that works. So this is the movement, the sound for the initializing and then the resetting the variable and all. And this is the movement control. That is for like sliding. Left slide, right slide, and then the left and right. Okay, so that's the code for that. And then this side is those broadcast message for checking platform and all, and move the hitbox. And we have the center where we are making it to go to the main character. So the animated character go to the main character. So today we'll work on a little bit more, making it maybe detect the platform and all. So let's go back to the main character. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the jump control first, and then we're going to work on the detection. Okay, so here, click on this, make a new block, jump control, select without refresh. Okay, let's put it over here. We'll take a if statement here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna use the operator and, so basically both condition is true, then they'll execute that. We'll use a not, and then we're gonna use one more of this. So basically we're gonna check if the up key is pressed and the player is not dead, we'll let him jump. Okay, so if the player is dying, so we should not jump. So go back over here, key, put this here. We'll select the up key. And then we have the variable that keep track of the player, player animation type. Okay, dead. So basically it's not dead. Then we're gonna use the if condition. Put this here. Okay, and then we're gonna check. Use the all operator and operator here. Gonna check if the player is actually on the ground and is not jumping, then we'll let him jump. We'll check on the ground, and so ground is where the global variable, right? The on the ground is 1, meaning it's on the ground. Jumping is the for the sprite only. This variable is for the sprite only. You can see, right, for main character. Okay, and if jumping is 0, meaning he's not jumping, then we'll let them jump. So we'll say set the animation type to 0. Okay, set the on the ground, okay, to 0 because it's jumping. Set jumping, so we have the when it's leaping off, jumping will mark it as 1, I mean true. And then we're going to change the velocity as well. Changing the velocity, where is it? Here. To 15. So when it jumps, it jumps 15 up, y up. Okay. And now what we want to do is when we jump, right? You remember the Among Us, when we jump, the O1, it has a lot of sound. So we don't want to have that multiple sound, so only one time when it jumps up we have only one sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called here. Okay, so what we are saying is if we're going to use the check for this guy. Let's use the operator first, put this here, and then we're going to check the list. So this is the item on the list. So you can use whichever one you want. So for me, I put 1 for the jump. So I basically put the item 1. So I'm gonna put the item 1. Right now I'm checking the item 1 of the list is 0, meaning it is not being played. Then I set it to 1 so that we can play that sound. So I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna replace the item 1 on the list, the sound list, with 1. So basically, let's say now you have the sound list. Let's say, where is it? Let's show the sound list. So let's say when we initialize, the sound list is 0. Now if we push the up key, right, I have to call this obviously. Okay, so we'll have to call this first. I'll demonstrate to you guys. Okay, let me move over here. Here we will call it. Okay. Okay, so move control and then the jump control. Let's go back over here. So if I push up, okay, if I push up, so since we have the code for the on the ground, it won't show. Like, let me take this out. I'll just kind of show it to you. So let's say the jump controls here. If I push up, you can see, right, this sound. Let's change to 1. So that way, I will let the sound know later to play the sound, the jump sound. So let me put this back in. So let's put this back in. We'll put it back in here. Okay. So since I have not touched the ground, right? That's why when I push up earlier, it didn't work. But once it touched the ground, we were able to jump this. Okay. All right. So we have the call here. So continue on. Okay. So let's move over here where we have the call the start all control. I'm gonna have to move this guy somewhere else later, but for now let's keep it here. We're gonna get the if and else block here, and then we're gonna use sensing. We're gonna put if the up key is pressed, we're gonna change the velocity. So make sure you use the change, not the set. Okay, so change the G velocity by the gravity. Where's the gravity variable? Okay. So when you're jumping up, it kind of pulls you down slowly, but once you're not jump up, we'll make it go a little bit faster. So we're gonna say change the velocity by this, and we'll make it multiply. So basically -1 times 2 will be -2. Okay. And then we are going to say change the Y position of this main character by the velocity. Okay. Okay. So far this is what we have. Okay. So I'm gonna finish up the move hitbox. I did not do that last time, so let's finish this up for right now. So for the move hitbox, we are going to set this deviation here to 0. And then we are going to repeat until. Repeat until here. Okay, let me go in a little bit more. And we're gonna use the OR condition. So OR is like basically either this or this is true, or run whatever inside. We're gonna use the equal here. We'll take the deviation here and make that 8. So we kind of keep track of the depth when the player is hitting some objects, and kind of check if we need to move the player back up a little bit. Okay, or you know, set the Y to 0, or using the 0 minus the deviation, so kind of push him back, not run into the wall. Okay, so and then we're gonna use this not. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say touching. So instead of the, you remember we have ground, right? We have virtual ground, so not the ground. We're going to touch the virtual ground. So that way, you know, the player can step on, you know, different things in the ground. So like the tree, you will not be able to stepping on the tree since the virtual ground does not have a tree, as you can see, or only have the ice box and this box. So it will only be stepping on these things, right? So that's why we want to do that. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, so we're gonna say change the Y. Okay, change the Y by 1, and then we're gonna change the deviation here by 1 as well. And then we need another if statement underneath here, and then duplicate that. And we are going to use the change by X and change Y, and then we are going to use the operator here use a minus. Okay, duplicate, put one more minus, and then we put 0. No minus the speed, drag this down, and then put 0 here again, and then we are going to minus the deviation. Okay, if it hits 8, we're gonna push him back to whatever the minus that position, so we'll put him back wherever he is. Okay, so he won't able to walk past the wall. So as you can see, we have no ground touch, so now it's gonna fall, right, because of the changing the Y. So over here on the other one, it's changing the velocity, so it will keep on falling. So we have to, because of the negative gravity, right? So unless we push up, it will keep on falling every time. Okay, so we're gonna make the code to detect the ground. Okay. Okay, so next we're gonna check if the player hit the ground. So we're gonna create another block here called check hit ground, and then we're gonna create a Boolean value. Okay, is jumping. Okay, Boolean value, not this one. Okay, Boolean. We'll make it run without refresh. Okay, check hit ground. Okay, so we're gonna code this one down here. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, later I'm gonna have to move this around a little bit. Let's move this over a little bit. I'll organize it later. So for now, let's just keep it like that. Okay, so this is for checking if the player hitting the ground. So we're gonna use a repeat until. Okay, and then we are going to have the not operator. And then we're gonna go to sensing, take this, we're choosing virtual ground again. So everything we're gonna do is gonna relate to the virtual ground, not the ground. Okay, so the ground will look like the virtual ground. So everything for touching the ground, we use a virtual ground. Okay, and then we're gonna create a if and else here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, drag that down, and we're gonna change the Y. Change Y by -1. So if it's jumping, we're gonna pull him back down. And then we are going to reset this variable G velocity to 0. Okay, else we're gonna change the Y by +1. We're also resetting this to 0, and then we're gonna have one more saying is on the ground to be 1 here. Okay, after it touched the ground, we have to push him back up a little bit. Okay, make sure that he get back up, and we have the if condition here. So put that inside here, and then we're gonna check if it's jumping. So let's check. So if it's jumping, we'll set it back to 0. So after it jump, we'll have to set it back to 0 so that he can jump again if he wants to. Okay, and then reset this. Oops, don't need all that. We're gonna need the jump back to 0. So now we're gonna go and grab this code I think we have earlier checking the platform, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to code a little bit more on this one. The one that we just called, we're going to take this out, and then we're going to call with this greater than. So basically, if the G velocity is greater than 0, we're going to call this check the ground. Okay. So basically, if he's jumping up, we have to check him, make sure that the user always touch the ground. So let's take this. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is what we have so far, but we're gonna create some more code for like if the player drops into the water, die as well. So what we will need a if condition here. So if condition, and then move this over a little bit. Okay, so here we'll use the operator less than. So, and then we're gonna check the Y position of this animated this is a main character, so the Y position is less than -150. So basically when the player is like right here, right, there's -130, right, so somewhere here, so -150 basically jumped off and fall into the water, it will die. But I'm using the black box, but anyway, I'm just showing you the Santa Claus, the same thing. Santa Claus will follow the black box. So basically if this black box drop under 150, we're gonna make the user die. So we're gonna have to reset the scrolling X. So we're gonna have to stop back in the beginning. So we haven't got to the scrolling part yet, but for now, just put this here. And then for the falling into the water, we have a different sound. So let's say like this sound number. So I'll show you what I mean. So here with the sound, so jump is 1, right? So you can see it. So it's like a whip sound. And then the water is number 3. So it doesn't matter. So what we do is we're gonna put number 3 for that sound. So in here, what we want to do is it doesn't necessarily have to be in the same order as this, but basically the list, whatever you want to use for the list for sound, you're gonna use that to play. So you have to remember where you are. So for this, for falling off the water, we want to play the water sound. So the plunge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the if condition here, put that in here, and then same thing with that check that we did earlier, and then using the list. So the item in the list, so number 3, so we're gonna use number 3 for now for that. So basically, okay, if it's the plunge sounds not playing and the player's falling down, then we're gonna play it. So what we're going to do is we're gonna replace this, replace item number 3 with 1. So basically it will replace this number with 1. Okay, so later we'll play the sound, and we're gonna code the sound to go through the loop. Whenever there's any 1, it will play that sound. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna change the life. So if we fall off the water, we want to change the life. So change here, change the life by -1. Okay, and then we are going to check if use the operator here, if the life is equal to 0. So basically if we lost all the life equal to 0, then broadcast game over. Okay, new message, game over. Okay, all right, so this is for this so far. Okay, so before we can test it, we're gonna have to go to the ground. Make sure you select this show. Okay, so they're gonna show the ground. We're gonna make him try to stand on that. What we're going to do is right now we don't have any scrolling at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the 0 position. Okay, put it in 0 position, and then do the same thing for this. Okay, just drag this, dump it over here. Okay, so now if you play this, if I say, you see, so as you can see, I forgot to make it select this, so make sure that's showing up. So now if I play it, so you see how he's standing on the virtual ground and not the let me take this list out. So not the actual sprite ground, right? So you can see he's jump up, he can walk like this, right? So we haven't done any of the walking, but as you can see, he's on the virtual ground. So one thing you have to do is make sure that the actual ground is in front of the virtual ground. Okay, so you have to say go in front. Okay, so what we want to do, we're going to need to hide the virtual ground. So this one is front, is okay. I think it should be okay. This one don't need it at the front. Let's go to the virtual ground. And what we're going to do is same thing like the main character. We are going to use the change ghost effect. Okay, by 100. And then we have to have the show also. Okay, over here we'll just grab the show for now. Okay, so let's test it out. So as you can see, we have our Santa Claus kind of moving like this. Okay, he can jump. You see, he jump is actually stopping at the detecting the ground. We haven't made the Santa Claus like changing the left and right? So we can do that. Okay, so we will actually have to stop here. Next time we'll work on the Santa Claus to able to move, changing the actual animated costume, so that we can make him move and look and better. But for now, we have to stop here for now. I think that one's gonna take a lot longer to explain how to change the costume logic. But as you can see, we have the Santa. He can walk left and right. He's not turning around yet. We'll do that. We'll do the animation next. So we'll stop here for now. Thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to give us a like and thumbs up on the video. We'll make the next next episode of the tutorial later. Alright, thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.